A few years ago, this was just a rough block in rural New Zealand. No house, no sheds, no driveway, not much of anything really. Since then, we've been slowly chipping away, turning it into our family homestead. And this week, we're finally tackling something we wanted to do for a long time. Start a vegetable garden. Sounds pretty simple, right? Well, not exactly. Because before we can plant a single seed, we've got a few things standing in our way. The stock can still wander straight through the area we want to garden. The spot we need is covered in a mountain of half-rotten firewood. We don't have a woodshed to put that firewood in. And if we do manage to get a garden growing, we've got plenty of possums around that would be more than happy to help themselves to it. So, before we can grow any food, we've got some fencing to build, a woodshed to put together, and a whole lot of timber to shift. But if we can get all this sorted, we'll be one step closer to growing our own food here on the whenua.
It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
We are out having a bit of a conversation together as a family to come up with our house section and how it's going to look. What do you reckon?
I'm thinking, can we put the veggie garden or the fruit trees here?
Libby said, so veggie garden around this area, and then in through this area will be all the fruit trees. Firstly, we've got to start by fencing around the property. We'll fence with a mixture of traditional fencing as well as nice post and rail. There'll be gates here and here. The veggie garden will go here, not far from the kitchen, and the woodshed will go here, not far from the lounge, and north facing. So, let's stop talking about it and get stuck in. So today we are doing a massive tidy up of this whole area because we're about to fence through here. The fence is going to come in through here and then cut across there out towards a fence over in the corner there. Now, as soon as we did this, the tractor turned up with the post rammer on the back. Shout out to Matt for lending that to me, bro. And then Stevie, thanks so much for the hand knocking these posts in. It took a little bit to master the tractor and the post rammer, but we ended up getting there. Woo! We nearly got caught out in this massive shower. It was bucketing. Oh, we got to bring the stuff inside, bro. It's all getting rained on. Then it dawned on me, why don't I just ram in the post for the woodshed at the exact same time? I knew how to use the rammer. I just needed extra tall posts and, hey, smashed it out. This is going to be one mighty woodshed. In my mind, there'll be 2 bays for wood. And then in through here, we'll park the mower and the garden tools and that sort of stuff. So this railing is going to go right down the front of the house over there. So it's going to be quite a large, grand house section. Got all that railing in. Super stoked with the way that turned out. All curved around. Yeah, boy! You know, it's such a good feeling being able to learn a new skill and feeling like you did an alright job, you know. These perfectly, like in a straight line, good fences can do that like bang on. I find it so difficult, like mucking around with that for ages. Also, like I'm not super happy with this here because it kind of pushes the wire out a little bit, you know. But once again, that's probably not the end of the world. That is Jess's work there. She's installing the battens and doing an excellent job. And with that, the fencing is now complete. Now for the woodshed. My grandfather Jack was watching from the sidelines, making sure we made no mistakes, while my nephew Roman and I finished off the woodshed. Man, it was good to get this thing up. Now obviously there's no roof on the woodshed. We're just going to use the tarp for the time being. I got to save up for some iron. But man, is it good to have somewhere to store our wood for the winter. For now, we're just going to clear out this section, get it ready for the fruit trees and the veggie garden. So I've been working hard, gathering all this firewood up, splitting it and stacking it in the woodshed for winter. Fairly often the whole family would come out and lend a hand. Now the tractor and mulcher made light work of this, cleared a few trees, opened the whole place up, ready for the orchard. Now as much as I hate ripping trees out, I don't feel too bad about these trees because we're planning to plant so many more. Joshua, you're pretty much Speedy Gonzales. Now we've decided to go for a no-dig vegetable garden. These are awesome. They allow you to grow abundant food by laying organic materials directly onto the ground instead of tilling the soil. This method mimics nature, preserves vital soil microbes, suppresses weeds, and retains excellent moisture. And the good thing is we have most of the materials on the farm. It's going to be quick, it's going to be cheap, and it's going to require little work. Well, at least that's the plan. Now we wanted to give it a bit of a test, so we laid out a garden, planted some crops, and gave it a go. Now it was our first ever experience with gardening, but we were blown away. We actually grew things. The beetroot, the fennel, the lettuce, it all grew fantastic. Yes, the brassicas, they got eaten by caterpillars, but other than that, it was a success, and we did next to no weeding. Look at you, in the garden?
I legit never thought it would be this much fun.
Really?
Yes. Do you want to see what we're doing?
Okay.
So these little nests are around garlic. So
Oh, wow.
elephant garlic.
Okay.
And
And you can plant them now.
Yeah, and I spoke to the guys down the veggie store.
Yeah.
So the roots come out the bottom.
Yeah.
And you half bury them, so you leave the top out. The wool we're putting around it to actually help us mark it, as well as it's a good insulator and it stops the weeds. But they're hard to see, and I don't want anyone to weed or step on them. So
Yeah.
we're using the wool like a little marker.
Wow.
I thought this was a lot of space. It turns out it's not.
Yeah. So we'll do like 1, and then 2, and then 3. We might fit 3 strips along here. So we've chosen to do quite a simple way of doing gardening, and that is we had a whole bunch of rotten baleage that a few years ago we got cut, but it sat for a long time because we had plenty of grass. Our cattle didn't need it. We couldn't sell the stuff, so we held on to it thinking it would be good for veggie gardens, and that's exactly what we've done. A few days later, we had a bit of a situation on our property. Just woken up, and last night the rain it bucketed down. Mate, I'm going to wake up to some flooding. That's what I thought. And turns out I was right. Look at all the snails! Wow! They've taken the high ground. I've never seen so many snails in my life. Where have they all come from? Now this is going to be a massive cleanup. I've got to clean up all of these fences. As I was doing this a few weeks later, I noticed something about the slash. Most of the snails were gone, and in their place, worms. This would make epic mulch for the garden. And so, we're going to make this into a family project. So together, we're doing a job as a family this morning. We are laying out the next 2 veggie gardens. And so we're going to show you how we go about doing this from beginning to end. And also last night we got some critters. 1, 2. Corbin saw them from outside the window. Sorry if you don't like seeing possums dead, but here in New Zealand they are a serious pest. They eat all our native bush, all the stuff that our lovely native birds will eat, these possums will eat, and they take off. If you don't get on top of them here in New Zealand, they will take over your place. 2.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Those 2. Excellent.
Look,
Show us.
look, these are the elephant garlic. Look, they've got stalks.
Oh yeah, wow.
But these ones haven't. Some of them have. There's a
Well,
few.
they haven't yet.
That one has. But look, they're growing. Wow. Most people bury them properly, but the guys down the road said to just plant it half in, and it is working.
Excellent. Oh, you're excited to do that, eh?
Yeah.
Mate, if you want to make kindling, I understand.
Yeah.
Woo! So we're kind of doing 2 things at the same time at the moment. Our plan is to take all the kind of slash that's gathered around the fences, and we're going to use that as the base layer for mulch. So we got stuck in together. We were able to fill that trailer up in no time and clear the fences. So this fence line got pretty bashed in a recent flood. There's just so many worms in there. So this will be fantastic for the garden. It's pretty much pre-made worm farm. Yeah. Now this is kind of a blessing in disguise. Yes, this is a mess and it's created a lot more work. However, we're able to use it for the veggie garden, and the amount of worms in this is wild. So many worms. Now, a lot of people say you're meant to lay cardboard down on the whole area. We did not have enough cardboard for that, so instead we're just piling up this mulch as high as we possibly can to prevent any weeds from coming through. Then I'm going ahead, I'm rolling this bale out, spreading it all out, trying to get it as evenly spread as possible, and this becomes the veggie garden. Now in the future we'll put wood chips on there too, but that'll be for another day. I'm just going up, grabbing the tractor, and then grabbing one of the hay bales, or the, what are they called? Things of baleage, packs of baleage, rounds of baleage, one of the baleages. I don't know what the bales of baleage, one of the bales of baleage. Yeah, that's probably right. Flat. Started. Woo! Now, building a veggie garden might seem like a really small thing, but this is getting us one step closer to producing our own food on the farm and becoming more self-sufficient. Working on this veggie garden together got me thinking. These days, it feels like life is always trying to pull the family unit apart. There's work, phones, screens, 100 different distractions competing for our attention. And before you know it, everyone's busy, not necessarily together. Out there, projects like this have a way of bringing us back to the same goal. Whether it's building a fence, stacking firewood, planting a garden, everyone has a part to play. They're learning that good things take effort, that worthwhile things don't just appear overnight. And maybe most importantly, they're learning what it feels like to contribute to something far bigger than themselves. That's always been part of the dream, not just building a place for ourselves, but being good stewards of the things that God has entrusted to us, our family, this land, the opportunities we've been given. The funny thing is, if I tried to do this all on my own, I'd get there eventually. But doing it together feels different. The work is shared, the wins are shared, the memories get shared too, because one day the fence won't matter, that woodshed won't matter, even the garden won't matter, but the time spent building it together will. That's what becomes part of your family's heritage. And when I look around at everyone pitching in on projects like this, it feels like we're building more than just a garden. We're building family. You know, standing here, it's hard to believe that just a few weeks ago, this place was chock-a-block with firewood, was an absolute dump, And now we've got a fence, we've got a veggie garden, we've got a woodshed, and it's finally beginning to come together. And you know, ultimately it's not about these things, it's not about the garden, it's about cultivating a life with our family, building a heritage, something that will continue to grow long after these projects are finished. See you in the next one.